In the grand theatre of the natural world, few stages are as dramatic, as vibrant, or as fiercely contested as the South American Pantanal and the African Savanna. These two legendary landscapes, separated by vast oceans and continents, are living testaments to the boundless creativity and relentless struggle that define life on Earth. The Pantanal and the Savanna are not merely places. They are living, breathing arenas where the daily drama of survival unfolds in spectacular fashion. Each is a masterpiece, painted with a palette of life forms and ecological processes that have evolved over millions of years. The Pantanal, the world's largest tropical wetland, is a sprawling, waterlogged labyrinth. Here, the rhythm of existence is dictated by the rise and retreat of epic floods. For much of the year, the land is submerged, transforming forests and grasslands into a shimmering mosaic of lakes, rivers, and floating meadows. As the waters recede, the landscape morphs again, revealing mudflats and isolated pools teeming with life. In stark contrast, the African savanna stretches endlessly beneath a blazing sun. This is a land of extremes, where golden grasses ripple in the wind and acacia trees stand as silent sentinels. Here, survival is a daily test of endurance, as animals must navigate a world of both scarcity and abundance, where the promise of rain brings life and its absence brings hardship. Each of these habitats presents its own formidable challenges. In response, evolution has sculpted some of the most remarkable and resilient creatures on the planet. From the stealthy hunters of the wetlands to the powerful predators of the plains, every animal is a product of its environment, perfectly adapted to the unique demands of its home. To compare these two ecosystems is to compare two masterpieces by the same artist, each painted with a different vision. The Pantanal is a world of water and lush, verdant greens, while the savanna is a kingdom of earth, sky, and golden light. In the Pantanal, the waters shimmer with life. Aquatic hunters like the caiman glide silently beneath the surface, while giant otters patrol the channels in coordinated family groups. Capybaras graze on the banks, ever watchful for the sudden rush of a predator. The savanna, by contrast, is a realm ruled by powerful land predators. Lions, the undisputed monarchs, move with calculated precision, their golden coats blending with the tall grasses. Hyenas, cunning and relentless, prowl the plains, their eerie calls echoing across the night. In the Pantanal, the drama of life and death plays out along the riverbanks and in the shallows. Jaguars, the apex predators of these wetlands, move with ghostly silence, their spotted coats dappled by sunlight filtering through the canopy. With a single explosive leap, a jaguar can ambush a caiman basking on the shore, locking its powerful jaws around the reptile's skull in a battle of strength and strategy. Giant otters, too, are formidable, working together to defend their territory from rival groups and to outwit lurking predators. On the savanna, the narrative is one of collective might and ancient rivalry. Lion prides coordinate with military precision, fanning out to encircle herds of wildebeest or zebra. The ensuing chase is a test of speed, stamina, and teamwork, as the lions single out the weakest or most vulnerable. Meanwhile, elephant herds traverse the plains in search of water, their matriarchs leading the way with memories passed down through generations. These gentle giants must defend their young from predators and navigate the ever-changing landscape. This journey will take us deep into the heart of these extraordinary realms, where every day is a contest for survival and every creature is both hunter and hunted. The distinct seasonal cycles of flood and drought shape the very fabric of life in each location. In the Pantanal, the annual floods bring a surge of nutrients, triggering explosions of plant growth and attracting vast congregations of fish, birds, and mammals. As the waters recede, predators and prey are forced into closer quarters, intensifying the competition and the frequency of dramatic encounters. On the savanna, the arrival of the rains transforms the landscape, drawing immense herds of herbivores and setting the stage for epic migrations. As the dry season returns, waterholes become battlegrounds, with predators lying in wait for the desperate and the unwary. We will meet the iconic animals that define these landscapes. The jaguar, silent and patient, is a master of ambush, capable of taking down prey many times its size. The spotted hyena, with its complex social structure and formidable bite, is both a skilled hunter and a relentless scavenger, able to outlast and outwit even the most determined rivals. The relationships between predator and prey are intricate and ever-shifting. In the Pantanal, capybaras and caimans share the same waters, each wary of the other. A sudden movement can trigger a frantic chase, with survival hanging in the balance. On the savanna, a herd of wildebeest may seem invincible, but a well-coordinated attack by lions can turn the tide in an instant. Every encounter is a test of instinct, speed, and cunning. These are nature's fierce showdowns, epic wildlife battles that have been waged for millennia. In the Pantanal, a jaguar's ambush on a caiman is a contest of raw power and precision. In the savanna, the clash between a lion pride and a buffalo herd is a spectacle of strength, courage, and sometimes tragedy. Yet these ancient arenas are not immune to change. The Pantanal's lush expanses are periodically scarred by natural fires, which, while part of the ecosystem's cycle, can sometimes rage with devastating intensity. The savanna, too, bears the marks of drought and shifting climate, as water sources dwindle and the balance of life is tested anew. The challenges faced by these ecosystems are immense. In the Pantanal, the encroachment of deforestation threatens to fragment habitats and disrupt the delicate web of life. On the savanna, the shadow of poaching and competition for resources can tip the scales, endangering the very species that have come to symbolize these wild places. Despite these threats, the resilience of the Pantanal and the savanna endures. The animals that call these places home continue their ancient battles, adapting to new challenges with ingenuity and determination. The story of these wild realms is one of survival, adaptation, and the unbreakable will to live. To understand these worlds is to witness the raw beauty and relentless struggle that define life itself. In every sunrise, in every silent stalk and thunderous chase, the legacy of these wild places is written anew, a legacy that, if protected, will endure for countless generations of creatures yet to come. The Pantanal is a world sculpted and sustained by the relentless power of water, a living tapestry where every life form is shaped by the ebb and flow of the annual flood. Spanning up to 75,000 square miles at the heart of South America, the Pantanal is not defined by a single river or lake, but by a vast alluvial plain, a living, breathing expanse that pulses with the rhythm of the seasons. Here, the land itself is a mosaic of interconnected habitats, each one moulded by the movement and presence of water. The entire existence of this realm is governed by a dramatic annual cycle of flood and drought, a cycle so profound that it dictates the very structure and function of every ecosystem within its boundaries. With the arrival of the wet season, typically beginning in October, immense sheets of rain descend from the sky, saturating the land and causing rivers to swell far beyond their banks. The rainfall is relentless, and the rivers, unable to contain the deluge, spill outwards, flooding the plains in a slow, inexorable advance. Gradually, the water spreads across the landscape, submerging up to 80% of the Pantanal. Grasslands, forests, and savannas are transformed into a vast, shimmering inland sea, where only the highest ground remains above the water's reach. This seasonal inundation is the catalyst for an explosion of life. Nutrient-rich sediments are deposited across the floodplain, fueling the growth of aquatic plants that form the foundation of the food web. Fish populations surge, taking advantage of the expanded habitat, and abundant resources, while amphibians, reptiles, and countless invertebrates thrive in the warm, oxygen-rich waters. As the rains subside around April, the dry season begins its slow, inevitable return. The great flood, which once dominated the landscape, gradually retreats, revealing the contours of the land beneath. Water drains away, leaving behind a patchwork of isolated lakes, shrinking pools, and muddy wallows. These remnants of the flood become vital refuges for aquatic life, while the exposed mud and silt provide new opportunities for terrestrial species. This period of transformation is marked by intense competition and extraordinary opportunity. As water sources dwindle, animals converge at the remaining pools, each species vying for access to the life-sustaining resource. The once boundless aquatic realm is now a concentrated buffet. Fish trapped in shrinking pools become easy prey for a multitude of predators, while the receding water edges attract gatherings of birds, reptiles, and mammals, all drawn by the promise of sustenance. Birds with keen eyesight and swift reflexes hunt the trapped fish, while caimans, masters of ambush, patrol the muddy shallows, seizing any opportunity to feed. The struggle for survival intensifies as the pools shrink further, and only the most adaptable thrive. The landscape, once vibrant and green, shifts to a palette of yellows and browns as grasses wither and the ground cracks beneath the sun. Terrestrial animals, long awaiting the retreat of the waters, emerge to claim the newly exposed land, foraging and hunting across the dry plains. This powerful rhythm of wet and dry is the heartbeat of the Pantanal, a force that shapes every aspect of life within its boundaries. The transition between seasons is both dramatic and essential, ensuring the renewal and balance of the ecosystem. Every inhabitant of the Pantanal is compelled to adapt to these cyclical changes. Some migrate with the water, following the shifting boundaries of flood and drought, while others alter their behaviors, breeding, feeding, and moving in harmony with the seasonal pulse. Capybaras, the largest rodents, are equally at home swimming through flooded grasslands or grazing on dry land. Jaguars, powerful and elusive, move effortlessly between water and earth, stalking prey wherever opportunity arises. Many species have evolved intricate behaviors precisely timed to the annual cycle. Nesting, migration, and hunting are all synchronized with the rise and fall of the waters, ensuring the greatest chance of survival for each new generation. For fish-eating birds such as the jabiru stork, the dry season is a time of abundance. As fish are corralled into ever smaller pools, these birds feast with little effort, their long legs and sharp beaks perfectly adapted for the task. For land-based hunters like the jaguar, the dry season reveals ancient pathways and concentrates prey near the remaining water sources. This creates predictable hunting grounds where patience and stealth are rewarded. The entire ecosystem is a masterpiece of timing and adaptation. Each species, from the smallest insect to the apex predator, is finely tuned to the rhythms of flood and drought, creating a living mosaic of biodiversity and resilience. The scale of this transformation is immense, with the landscape shifting from a vast expanse of water to a patchwork of dry land and isolated pools, all visible from the sky as a living map of change. The advance of water is not a violent surge, but a slow, deliberate tide, creeping across the grasslands at a pace of just 1/4 meter per day. This gradual movement allows life to adjust, migrate, and prepare for the coming changes. The slow advance and retreat of water is absorbed by the land, nourishing the soil and replenishing the aquifers. This process is essential for the health and vitality of every ecosystem within the Pantanal. The rhythmic pulse of water sustains an intricate web of life, connecting forests, grasslands, lakes, and rivers into a single unified ecosystem. Each habitat supports a unique community of species, all dependent on the cycles of flood and drought. From the tiniest invertebrate burrowing in the mud to the largest predator prowling the wetlands, every living thing is bound to this grand, watery dance. The cycle of renewal and concentration has shaped this wilderness for millennia, forging a realm where life is inextricably linked to the ever-changing presence of water. Deep within the sprawling wetlands of the Pantanal, a realm teeming with life and mystery, a single predator stands unrivaled at the top of the food chain, the jaguar. This magnificent feline, with its broad head and muscular frame, is the undisputed monarch of these flooded forests and winding waterways. Known as the Lord of the Land, the jaguar is the largest cat in the Americas, a creature whose immense strength and silent stealth have been honed by generations of survival in this challenging environment. Every step it takes is measured, its muscles rippling beneath a coat of gold and black. The Pantanal is home to the highest density of jaguars on Earth. Here, these apex predators have evolved to embrace a semi-aquatic lifestyle, unlike their forest-dwelling relatives elsewhere. Jaguars in this region are powerful swimmers, gliding effortlessly through the labyrinth of rivers and lagoons, their bodies perfectly adapted for both land and water. Their rosette-spotted coats are masterpieces of camouflage, blending seamlessly with the dappled sunlight filtering through the forest canopy and the tangled shadows along muddy riverbanks. This natural artistry allows them to vanish from sight, becoming invisible to both prey and rival predators. Yet, it is not just their stealth that sets them apart. The jaguar's raw power is legendary, with limbs built for explosive bursts of speed and a body designed for grappling with formidable prey. This cat is a living engine of predatory force. The jaguar possesses the most powerful bite of any big cat, capable of delivering a crushing force of up to 1,500 pounds per square inch. This immense pressure is enough to pierce the thickest skulls and shells, a trait that has shaped its unique hunting style. This extraordinary bite force allows the jaguar to specialize in hunting the Jaguar caiman, one of the Pantanal's most formidable aquatic residents. The jaguar's approach is bold and direct, often launching itself into the water to ambush its armored prey. Unlike other big cats that suffocate their prey with a bite to the throat, the jaguar employs a more audacious technique. With pinpoint accuracy, it drives its powerful jaws through the caiman's skull or severs its vertebrae, ending the struggle in a single, decisive moment. Such a hunt demands immense patience and precision. The jaguar will crouch motionless for hours, its body pressed low against the earth, eyes fixed on the water's surface, waiting for the slightest ripple that signals the caiman's approach. When the moment is right, the jaguar moves with absolute silence, each step calculated to avoid detection. Then, in a blur of motion, it launches an explosive attack, closing the distance in a heartbeat and seizing its prey with unyielding force. This remarkable behavior is a testament to the jaguar's unique adaptation to its wetland home. Here the predator has turned the tables, making a fearsome reptile its preferred quarry and showcasing the intricate balance of power in this ecosystem. The Jaguar caiman, meanwhile, is a key player in the Pantanal's aquatic drama. With armored scales and a powerful tail, it glides through the waterways, ever alert to the presence of lurking predators. Numbering in the millions, these reptiles are a constant presence along the riverbanks and in the shallows. During the wet season, they disperse across the flooded plains, but as the dry season advances, they gather in dense congregations around shrinking pools, their bodies pressed together in the mud. In these crowded refuges, competition for space and food intensifies. The caimans jostle for position, their eyes and nostrils just above the water, ever watchful for both prey and the approach of the jaguar. When the heat becomes unbearable and water scarce, the Jaguar caiman reveals an astonishing survival strategy. It burrows into the damp mud, seeking refuge from the relentless sun. Here, the caiman lowers its heart rate to just a few beats per minute, entering a state of temporary hibernation. In this suspended animation, it waits patiently for the return of the rains, its body sustained by the moisture in the mud and the promise of renewal. Sharing these waterways is another remarkable predator, the giant otter. Sleek and agile, The giant otter is a master of the river, its streamlined body built for speed and maneuverability in the water. Reaching lengths of up to 6 feet, the giant otter is the largest member of the weasel family. Its webbed feet and powerful tail propel it effortlessly through the currents, making it the undisputed ruler of the aquatic realm. Highly social and intelligent, giant otters live in close-knit family groups, each led by a dominant alpha pair. Their days are filled with constant communication, whistles, screams, and hums echoing across the water as they coordinate their activities. These otters are expert hunters, working together to herd schools of fish, including the notorious piranha, into the shallows. Their cooperative strategies and sharp reflexes ensure a steady supply of food for the entire group. Despite their playful antics, giant otters are formidable defenders of their territory. They will confront even the mighty Jaguar or the armored caiman, using teamwork and agility to protect their young and maintain their place in the Pantanal's intricate web of life. Here, every encounter, every hunt, and every adaptation is a testament to the resilience and complexity of nature's aquatic court. The Pantanal is far more than a mosaic of solitary hunters and wary survivors. It is a living, breathing network of relationships where every creature, large or small, plays a role in a complex social web. Here, the daily rhythm of life is shaped by intricate interactions, alliances, and rivalries among the region's remarkable wildlife. Each species, from the smallest insect to the largest predator, is woven into this vibrant tapestry, their fates intertwined in ways both subtle and dramatic. Among the most iconic of the Pantanal's social creatures is the capybara, the world's largest rodent. These gentle herbivores are rarely seen alone. Instead, they thrive in tightly knit family groups, sometimes numbering up to 30 individuals. Within these groups, capybaras display a remarkable degree of cooperation and communication. Adults and juveniles graze side by side, while sentinels stand watch. Their senses are tuned to the slightest hint of danger. Social grooming is common, reinforcing bonds and reducing tension within the group. Their survival strategy is rooted in vigilance and unity. With so many eyes and ears, the group can quickly detect threats, especially the stealthy approach of a jaguar or an opportunistic caiman. The capybara's social structure ensures that no individual is left unprotected. When a predator is spotted, a chorus of sharp, alarmed barks erupts. Instantly, the entire herd reacts as one, dashing for the safety of the water. The youngest and most vulnerable are shepherded by older members, demonstrating a collective instinct to protect the group. The capybara's semi-aquatic lifestyle is central to their defense. They slip beneath the surface, using their webbed feet to swim with ease. Submerged, they can remain hidden for up to 5 minutes, their nostrils and eyes just above the water, ever watchful for danger. One of the Pantanal's most fascinating social dynamics unfolds between the capybara and the Jaguar caiman. These two species, both drawn to the water's edge, often find themselves in close proximity. The caiman, a formidable reptile reaching lengths of 10 feet, is a potential threat, especially to the young or inattentive capybara. On occasion, a caiman will seize the opportunity to snatch a vulnerable juvenile, a reminder of the ever-present risks in this ecosystem. Yet for much of the year, these two species coexist in a delicate balance. Adult capybaras, too large and wary to be easy prey, graze calmly just feet from basking caimans. This uneasy truce is maintained by mutual recognition of the risks and rewards. During the dry season, when water is scarce and riverbanks are crowded, capybaras and caimans are often seen side by side. The capybara's presence may even deter more agile predators, while the caimans conserve energy for more opportune moments. This relationship is a constant negotiation, a silent calculation of risk and benefit. Each species weighs the potential cost of conflict against the advantages of coexistence, resulting in a fragile but enduring peace. For the caiman, a full-grown capybara is a formidable opponent, capable of inflicting injury with its powerful teeth. For the capybara, the caiman's presence is a deterrent to other predators, such as jaguars or anacondas, who may think twice before approaching a crowded riverbank. Above the wetlands, the social tapestry extends into the forest canopy, where birds and mammals interact in a world of colour and sound. The hyacinth macaw, the largest parrot on Earth, is a striking presence. These birds are rarely alone, preferring the company of a mate or a small flock, their cobalt blue feathers gleaming in the sunlight. Their powerful beaks, among the strongest in the avian world, allow them to crack open the tough palm nuts that form the core of their diet. Feeding is often a communal affair, with pairs or groups gathering in favoured trees. As they feed, macaws inadvertently drop nuts to the forest floor. These fallen seeds may sprout into new palms, making the macaws vital agents of regeneration and growth within the Pantanal's forests. Social bonds among hyacinth macaws are exceptionally strong. Mated pairs remain together for life, engaging in mutual preening and synchronized calls. Their raucous voices echo through the canopy, signaling territory, attracting companions, and maintaining cohesion within the flock. Beneath the dense undergrowth, another social specialist prowls, the bush dog. This elusive terrier-sized canid is rarely seen alone, relying on the strength and coordination of its pack. Bush dogs live and hunt in cohesive family groups, where each member has a role. Communication is constant, with high-pitched whines and scent marking guiding the pack's movements through the tangled forest. Their partially webbed feet make them agile swimmers, and their hunting strategy is a marvel of cooperation. Packs coordinate their movements, using water and land to outmaneuver prey. When hunting, some bush dogs drive prey, such as capybaras or deer, toward the water, where others lie in wait. This amphibious approach allows them to capture animals that might otherwise escape larger, less coordinated predators. The bush dog's success is rooted in its social structure. Each hunt is a testament to the power of cooperation, with every member contributing to the pack's survival. In the Pantanal, where water and land are in constant flux, such teamwork is essential. Across the Pantanal, from the open wetlands to the shadowed forests, the lives of its inhabitants are defined by their social bonds. Whether in the synchronized movements of a capybara herd, the lifelong partnership of macaws, or the coordinated hunts of bush dogs, the region's wildlife reveals the profound strength found in unity and cooperation. This is the true heart of the Pantanal's social tapestry, a world where survival depends not on solitude, but on the intricate, ever-evolving relationships between its wild denizens. Sprawling across more than a third of the African continent, the savanna stretches endlessly beneath a sky ablaze with colour, its vastness broken only by the silhouettes of acacia trees and the undulating horizon. This is a realm sculpted by elemental forces, where the sun reigns supreme and the land is both beautiful and unforgiving. The savanna's open grasslands, punctuated by the iconic flat-topped acacias, are shaped by the relentless intensity of the sun. Here the grasses shimmer in the heat, and the air itself seems to ripple with the promise of both life and hardship. Unlike the predictable flood cycles of other ecosystems, the savanna is governed by a harsh rhythm, months of searing drought when the earth cracks and the grasses wither, followed by brief explosive rains that transform the landscape in a matter of days. For much of the year, the sun's fierce gaze bakes the land, turning the once green grasses to brittle gold. The wind stirs the parched blades, carrying the scent of dust and the distant promise of rain. Water becomes the most precious resource, and its scarcity shapes every life. Herds of antelope, elephants and buffalo trek for miles, drawn to the last shrinking waterholes where tension simmers, and every sip is a risk. Rivers dwindle to mere threads, and the remaining pools become arenas of survival. Here, predator and prey are forced into uneasy proximity, their fates entwined by thirst. Then, with a suddenness that seems miraculous, the rains arrive. Thunder rumbles across the plains as the skies open. Rain lashes the earth, soaking the dust and coaxing life from the parched soil. The transformation is immediate and dramatic. Within days, the savanna erupts in a riot of green. Grasses surge skyward, trees unfurl new leaves, and the air is filled with the hum of insects and the calls of returning birds. This sudden abundance triggers one of nature's most awe-inspiring spectacles, the Great Migrations. Massive herds of wildebeest, zebras, and gazelles surge across the plains, driven by an ancient instinct to follow the rains and the promise of fresh grazing. Millions of hooves drum the earth, churning up clouds of dust as the herds move in unison. Their journey is perilous, fraught with danger at every turn as they cross rivers swollen by rain and traverse open plains where predators lie in wait. The migration is a moving feast for the savanna's formidable predators. Lions, leopards, cheetahs, and hyenas shadow the herds, their survival dependent on the success of the hunt. Each encounter is a test of speed, strength, and strategy, a battle where only the most cunning or powerful prevail. The savanna is a land of extremes, where feast and famine follow one another in relentless succession. In the dry season, animals struggle for every mouthful and every drop. After the rains, life explodes in abundance, but the competition is no less fierce. The social lives of savanna animals are shaped by these challenges. Elephants move in tight-knit herds, led by wise matriarchs who remember the hidden waterholes and safe paths. Their bonds are forged in hardship and tested in the crucible of drought and migration. With little cover to shield them, many species have evolved to live in groups. Gazelles and zebras cluster together, their numbers offering protection against the ever-present threat of predators. For the herbivores, vigilance is a matter of life and death. 1,000 eyes scan the horizon, ears twitching at the faintest sound, ready to bolt at the first sign of danger. For the predators, cooperation is the key to success. Lion prides work together to bring down powerful buffalo, while cheetahs coordinate their sprints to outflank and exhaust their quarry. Each hunt is a battle of wits and endurance, a contest as old as the savanna itself. Wild dogs, masters of teamwork, launch relentless chases across the open plains, their coordinated attacks overwhelming prey that would be impossible to catch alone. The chase is a spectacle of speed, stamina, and strategy, where the outcome is never certain. From the close-knit elephant families to the intricate social hierarchies of hyena clans and the cooperative might of lion prides, social living is the ultimate adaptation for survival in this demanding world. The savanna is not a single uniform expanse, but a mosaic of habitats, open grasslands, wooded savannas, dense thickets, each offering its own challenges and opportunities. This diversity supports an astonishing array of life, each species finely tuned to its niche. Some are built for speed, others for stealth, and all are locked in a perpetual struggle for survival. The patas monkey, swiftest of all primates, races across the open grass, relying on sheer speed to escape the claws of leopards and the jaws of wild dogs. On the savanna's arid fringes, the fennec fox survives by listening for the faintest rustle beneath the sand, its oversized ears radiating heat and detecting the movements of hidden prey. From the towering giraffe, plucking leaves high above the reach of others, to the tireless dung beetle, recycling nutrients on the ground below, every creature plays a vital role in this intricate web of life. Here, epic battles are fought daily, not just between predator and prey, but against the elements, against hunger, and against the ever-shifting fortunes of the savanna. This is a world forged by sun, scarcity, and the relentless will to survive. Across the vast sun-baked plains of the African savanna, the rhythm of life is dictated by the power of unity. Here, the giants of the land and water have evolved extraordinary cooperative strategies, each uniquely adapted to the challenges of their environment. Among these, the lion stands as a paragon of social strength, its very survival and dominance owed to the intricate bonds within its pride. Unlike other great cats, lions are not solitary hunters. Instead, they move as a single coordinated force, their every step a testament to the power of collective action. The pride is a living network, each member attuned to the needs and movements of the others. Within the pride, social roles are clearly defined. Several related females form the core, raising their cubs communally and sharing the responsibilities of nurturing, protection, and hunting. Adult males, often brothers or close relatives, defend the pride's territory from rivals, their presence a shield against external threats. The lionesses, bound by kinship and years of shared experience, are the pride's primary hunters. Their hunts are masterclasses in teamwork, with each lioness playing a specific role. Some drive prey toward hidden ambushes, while others wait in silence, ready to spring the trap. When targeting formidable prey like the African buffalo, the lionesses synchronize their movements, encircling their quarry with silent precision. Their combined strength and coordination allow them to subdue animals many times their own size, a feat impossible for a lone hunter. The final moments of the hunt are a display of raw power and unity. Lionesses use their collective weight to bring down the prey, while one delivers a suffocating bite to the throat, ending the struggle swiftly. The pride then shares the meal, with a strict hierarchy dictating the order of feeding. Towering above the grasslands, the African bush elephant is another master of cooperation. These gentle giants rely on deep social bonds and remarkable intelligence to navigate the challenges of the savanna. Elephant herds are matriarchal, led by the oldest and most experienced female. The matriarch's wisdom, accumulated over decades, is the herd's greatest asset, guiding them through droughts, migrations, and dangers. The matriarch's memory is a living archive of the landscape. She recalls the locations of waterholes, safe paths, and seasonal food sources. Her leadership ensures the survival of the entire family, especially during times of scarcity. During the harsh, dry season, the matriarch leads her family across parched riverbeds to hidden oases, her knowledge making the difference between life and death. The herd moves as one, the younger elephants protected in the center, elders flanking the group to guard against predators. In regions where elephant populations have faced immense challenges, the survival of matriarchs has been vital. Their guidance preserves the collective memory of the herd, allowing generations to benefit from hard-won knowledge and ensuring the continuity of these magnificent animals. The spotted hyena, often underestimated, is a marvel of social organization. Far from being mere scavengers, hyenas are among the savanna's most effective cooperative hunters. Hyenas live in large, complex clans dominated by females. These clans can number up to 80 individuals, each with a defined rank and role. Cooperation is essential, from raising cubs in communal dens to defending territory and resources. Their strength in numbers allows them to challenge even lions for food, using coordinated tactics to intimidate and outmaneuver their rivals. Yet hyenas are also skilled hunters, working together to bring down prey through relentless pursuit and strategic relay running. During hunts, hyenas employ a relay system, with individuals taking turns to chase prey like wildebeest over long distances. This tireless teamwork exhausts their quarry, increasing the clan's chances of a successful kill. Once a carcass is secured, hyenas use their powerful jaws to crush even the largest bones, extracting every possible nutrient. This efficiency ensures the clan thrives, even when resources are scarce. In the rivers and wetlands, the Nile crocodile reigns supreme. Though often solitary, these ancient reptiles display remarkable cooperation during times of abundance. The Nile crocodile is a master of patience and ambush. Lying motionless beneath the water's surface, it waits for the perfect moment to strike, its senses finely tuned to the movements of potential prey. These giants can reach lengths of 20 feet and weigh over 1,650 pounds. Their immense size a product of both solitary hunting and communal feeding opportunities. During the Great Migrations, crocodiles gather in large numbers at river crossings, each individual poised for the arrival of thirsty herds. Their collective presence transforms the river into a gauntlet, where cooperation is seen in the form of shared hunting grounds and synchronized attacks. When prey approaches, crocodiles explode from the water with astonishing speed, their jaws clamping down with bone-crushing force. The suddenness and precision of their attacks are enhanced by the presence of multiple crocodiles, increasing the chances of a successful catch. Once a victim is seized, crocodiles employ the infamous death roll, spinning violently to tear flesh and dismember their prey. In the chaos, several crocodiles may latch onto the same animal, each benefiting from the collective effort. Though they may feed alone, the congregation of crocodiles at key locations is a powerful example of opportunistic cooperation, creating a formidable barrier for any animal attempting to cross the river. In the African Savanna, the giants of land and water thrive not through isolation, but through the strength and complexity of their social bonds. In the vast, sun-scorched expanses of the African savanna, every day is a relentless test of endurance, adaptation, and ingenuity. Here the land is shaped by extremes, searing heat, parched earth, and unpredictable rainfall. Only the most resourceful creatures can thrive in such a demanding environment, and each species has evolved a remarkable set of strategies to survive and even flourish under the blazing sun. The African elephant, the largest land mammal, is a true master of adaptation. Its massive size is both a blessing and a challenge, requiring vast amounts of food and water to sustain its bulk. Yet the elephant is far from a passive wanderer. It is a dynamic force, actively shaping the landscape to suit its needs. During the harshest dry seasons, when rivers shrink to dust and waterholes vanish, elephants employ their powerful trunks and keen sense of smell to locate hidden moisture beneath the surface. With deliberate, forceful movements, they dig deep into the sun-baked riverbeds, carving out elephant wells that reach the life-sustaining water below. These wells become oases in the arid wilderness, attracting a multitude of thirsty animals. Antelopes, zebras, warthogs, and flocks of birds gather around these precious pools, their survival intertwined with the elephant's ingenuity. In this way, the elephant's quest for water sustains an entire web of life, turning scarcity into opportunity for countless species. Elephants also play a crucial role in maintaining the balance of the savanna. Their insatiable appetite for vegetation, consuming hundreds of pounds of grasses, leaves, and bark each day, prevents the encroachment of woodlands, keeping the grasslands open and vibrant. By uprooting small trees and stripping branches, they create pathways and clearings that benefit grazers and browsers alike. The spotted hyena, another iconic resident of the savanna, has honed its survival skills to a fine art. Its reputation as a scavenger belies a complex and highly effective approach to life in a land of fierce competition and limited resources. With jaws capable of exerting immense pressure, the hyena can shatter the largest bones left behind by other predators. Its digestive system is a marvel of evolution, producing potent hydrochloric acid that dissolves bone and gristle with ease. This extraordinary adaptation allows the hyena to extract vital nutrients, calcium, phosphorus, and marrow, from every last fragment of a carcass. Nothing is wasted. The hyena transforms death into sustenance, recycling nutrients back into the ecosystem and ensuring that even the harshest droughts do not spell disaster for its clan. The hyena's social structure is equally flexible. Living in complex clans, they cooperate to hunt formidable prey or scavenge from the kills of others. Their ability to adapt their diet and behavior to the shifting fortunes of the savanna has made them one of Africa's most successful and widespread carnivores. Beneath the feet of giants, smaller creatures have evolved their own ingenious methods to endure the savanna's extremes. Insects burrow deep into the cool earth, emerging only at dawn and dusk to avoid the punishing midday heat. Rodents construct elaborate tunnel systems where temperatures remain stable and predators are kept at bay. On the arid fringes of the savanna, the fennec fox, the world's smallest canid, demonstrates a masterclass in desert survival. Its petite frame and sandy coat blend seamlessly with the dunes, offering both camouflage and protection from the sun. The fennec's most distinctive feature, its enormous ears, serves a dual purpose. Acting as natural radiators, these ears dissipate excess body heat, helping the fox remain cool even as temperatures soar. At the same time, their acute sensitivity allows the fox to detect the faintest rustle of prey beneath the sand. With a flick of its ears, the fennec pinpoints the movements of insects, lizards, and small rodents. It digs swiftly and silently, unearthing hidden meals that sustain it through the long, dry days. To further avoid the searing heat, the fennec fox is strictly nocturnal. As the sun sets and the desert cools, it emerges from its burrow to hunt, taking advantage of the darkness and lower temperatures to conserve energy and water. In the open savanna, speed is often the difference between life and death. The vast, treeless plains offer little cover. So many animals have evolved to rely on sheer velocity to outpace danger. The patas monkey, a ground-dwelling primate, is a prime example. Its long limbs and lean build are perfectly adapted for rapid movement across the grasslands. Capable of reaching speeds up to 34 miles per hour, the patas monkey can outrun many of its predators, including cheetahs and leopards. This incredible speed is its primary defense, allowing it to escape in the open where hiding is impossible. Studies have shown that this adaptation reduces the patas monkey's risk of predation by over 40% compared to slower primates sharing the same habitat. Its survival hinges on its ability to detect threats early and sprint to safety across the endless grass. For the patas monkey, the open plains are both a challenge and an opportunity. Its unmatched speed is not just a display of athleticism, but the very key to its continued existence in a world where the sun reigns supreme and only the most adaptable endure. Despite their wild grandeur and apparent timelessness, both the Pantanal and the African Savanna are shaped by a host of natural forces and animal interactions that continually test the resilience of these ecosystems. These are the ancient challenges of nature: floods, droughts, wildfires, predation and competition that have sculpted these landscapes for millennia. In the Pantanal, fire is a natural and recurring phenomenon. Lightning strikes during the dry season can ignite vast stretches of grassland and wetland, setting off blazes that sweep through the landscape. These natural fires, though sometimes destructive, play a crucial role in renewing the ecosystem, clearing old vegetation, releasing nutrients into the soil, and stimulating new growth. After the flames subside, the land is reborn, with fresh shoots emerging from the ashes, providing food for herbivores and maintaining the delicate balance of plant life. Yet these fires can be perilous for animals caught in their path. Some, like capybaras and caimans, seek refuge in water, while others must flee or risk perishing in the flames. The Pantanal is also defined by its dramatic seasonal floods. Each year, rivers overflow, submerging up to 80% of the land and transforming the region into a vast aquatic paradise. These floods bring life, dispersing nutrients and supporting a rich diversity of aquatic species. Jaguars swim between islands, and fish thrive in the newly connected waterways. But the floods can also be a threat. Terrestrial animals are forced onto shrinking patches of dry land, increasing competition for space and resources, while some may become isolated or stranded. In contrast, years of severe drought can parch the Pantanal, drying up rivers and wetlands. Fish become trapped in shrinking pools, and aquatic life struggles to survive as water becomes scarce. Across the Atlantic, the African savanna is equally shaped by the rhythms of nature. Seasonal rains and dry spells dictate the movement of vast herds and the fate of countless species. The great migrations are perilous journeys. Wildebeest and zebras must cross swollen rivers teeming with crocodiles, where only the strongest and luckiest survive. Predation is a constant threat. Lions, leopards, and hyenas hunt the herds, while the prey must remain ever vigilant, relying on speed, strength, and numbers to evade capture. The injured and the weak often fall victim to predators or scavengers, ensuring that only the fittest survive, and that energy is recycled through the food web. During the dry season, competition for water intensifies. Elephants, buffalo, and antelope converge on dwindling waterholes, sometimes leading to tense standoffs and aggressive encounters. When water runs out, even the mightiest can succumb to thirst and exhaustion, and the cycle of life and death continues. Natural disasters such as storms and lightning can reshape the landscape, toppling trees, altering habitats, and creating new opportunities for some species while challenging others. Even the smallest creatures play a role in these natural threats. Termites and ants can alter the soil, while burrowing animals reshape the terrain, affecting plant growth and water flow. Competition for food is fierce. Flocks of birds, schools of fish, and herds of grazers must constantly vie for limited resources, with the balance shifting as seasons change. Ambush predators like crocodiles and leopards exploit moments of vulnerability, reminding all creatures that danger is never far away in these wild paradises. These natural forces and animal interactions, though harsh, are the very essence of life in the Pantanal and the African Savanna, ensuring that only the most adaptable survive, and that paradise, though threatened, endures through the ages. Across the world's wildest frontiers, a silent but relentless struggle unfolds each day. Here, in the heart of untamed landscapes, animals fight not only for survival, but for the very places they call home. Every dawn brings a new chapter in this ancient contest as creatures great and small defend their territories, seek out scarce resources, and adapt to the ever-changing rhythms of nature. Hope endures in these wild places, where the resilience and ingenuity of animals shine like beacons. Herds band together for strength, predators hone their skills, and each species carves out its niche in the intricate web of life. In the Pantanal, the world's largest tropical wetland, the fight for territory and resources is fierce. Jaguars prowl the waterways, competing with caimans for prey, while capybaras remain ever vigilant, knowing that danger can strike at any moment. The vast expanse of the wetlands is a living tapestry, where every movement is watched, every sound carries meaning, and every animal must be attuned to the pulse of its environment to survive. Among the reeds and rivers, giant otters have reclaimed their place as apex predators. Their tight-knit families work together to defend their territory from intruders, raising their young in the safety of secluded dens. Once on the brink of disappearance, these remarkable creatures have adapted and persevered, their survival a testament to the power of unity and determination in the wild. In Africa, the savanna is a stage for constant contest. Elephant herds traverse vast distances, led by wise matriarchs who remember the hidden waterholes and safe paths, guiding their families through drought and danger. In places like Zakuma National Park, the resurgence of elephant herds is a powerful symbol of nature's ability to recover when given the chance. After devastating losses, the remaining elephants banded together, their social bonds growing stronger as they protected the next generation from threats. Through vigilance and cooperation, they have turned the tide, ensuring that their young can grow up in safety and that the herd's legacy endures. Today, the savanna echoes with the sounds of thriving herds, each new calf a promise that the wild will persist. The fight for wild places is not just about individual animals, but about the survival of entire communities and the delicate balance that sustains them. Every species, from the smallest insect to the largest mammal, plays a role in maintaining the health and diversity of these ecosystems. The intricate relationships between predator and prey, plant and pollinator, hunter and hunted, form the foundation of life in the wild. In South Africa, rhinos defend their territories with fierce determination, their battles echoing across the plains as they strive to protect their young and secure their future. Beneath the waves of the Red Sea, corals wage their own war against rising temperatures, with the strongest and most resilient forming the backbone of thriving underwater cities. In the Pantanal, wild herds and predators share the land with other grazers, each adapting to the presence of the other, forging a dynamic balance that allows the ecosystem to flourish. The fate of these wild places is written in the daily struggles and triumphs of the animals that inhabit them. These ecosystems are not distant or isolated. They are vital, living systems that shape the world around them. They regulate climate, sustain biodiversity, and provide the foundation for life itself. The responsibility to protect these wild places is carried by the animals themselves, each playing their part in the ongoing drama of survival. The epic battles and breathtaking survival stories that unfold here are a testament to the raw power and delicate beauty of nature. As long as these wild places endure, the fierce showdowns and timeless struggles of the animal kingdom will continue to inspire awe, reminding us of the enduring spirit of life on Earth. As dusk descends, the rainforest transforms. Sunlight fades, and a new realm stirs beneath the dense canopy. In this world of perpetual twilight, the true rulers are not those seen by day, but the elusive creatures who emerge under cover of darkness. Hidden in the tangled undergrowth, a silent drama unfolds. The ocelot, lithe and dappled, slips through shafts of moonlight, its movements barely perceptible among the twisting roots and fallen leaves. Every step is calculated, every twitch of its whiskers a reaction to the faintest sound. It is a master of stealth, hunting agoutis that scurry nervously between the shadows, aware that danger is always near but never knowing from where it will strike. High above, the canopy is alive with secret skirmishes. Two kinkajous, nimble as phantoms, spiral around a fig-laden branch, their eyes glowing gold in the starlight. They hiss and grapple, each vying for the sweetest fruit, their battle nearly silent but for the rustle of leaves and the soft thud of paws on bark. The victor claims the feast while the other retreats into the darkness, hungry but unharmed. In the leaf litter, armies of bullet ants patrol their territory with unwavering discipline. Their world is a battlefield, where rival colonies clash in silent wars beneath the ferns. The air is heavy with pheromones, invisible signals that marshal troops, mark boundaries, and declare intent. A single confrontation can decide the fate of thousands. The night air pulses with the calls of frogs and insects, each a coded message in the language of survival. Bats sweep through the gloom, their echolocation mapping a world unseen by human eyes. With pinpoint precision, they intercept moths mid-flight, each encounter a duel of wits and agility. Even the slow-moving sloth, often overlooked, must defend its leafy perch from nocturnal rivals. Its deliberate movements and algae-coated fur blend perfectly with the mossy branches, an ancient adaptation to evade the sharp gaze of night hunters. Here, in the velvet darkness, every sense is heightened, every moment a test. The rainforest's nocturnal battles are fought in silence and shadow, witnessed by none but those who partake in them. These nightly struggles are the hidden heartbeat of the jungle, a testament to the resilience, ingenuity, and fierce determination of its secretive inhabitants. As dawn approaches, the victors melt away, leaving no trace. The rainforest returns to its daytime rhythm, its deepest dramas hidden beneath a veil of leaves, awaiting another night when the shadows come alive. Beneath the mirrored surface of the rainforest's flooded plains, a world of silent conflict unfolds, a realm where light is fractured and shadows glide across submerged roots. Down here, Day and night blur together, and the only law is survival. In the murky depths, a school of piranhas shimmers, their silver bodies darting as one. Their eyes are unblinking, always alert for the faintest tremor in the water. A careless movement draws their attention. A juvenile caiman, still learning the rules of this aquatic arena, slips between tangled vines. The piranhas close in, testing the boundaries, their razor teeth flashing in the filtered light. The caiman thrashes, sending up clouds of silt, and the school scatters, waiting for weakness. For now the balance holds, but the tension is palpable. A single mistake will tip the scales. Elsewhere, a giant river frog lurks among the roots, its mottled skin blending seamlessly with the muddy bottom. It sits motionless, eyes half-lidded, sensing the faint ripples of an approaching predator. Suddenly an electric eel slithers from the shadows, its body undulating with silent menace. The frog's heart pounds as the eel draws near, sending a pulse of electricity through the water. Instinct takes over. With a powerful leap, the frog vanishes into the gloom, narrowly escaping the eel's deadly charge. In deeper pools, armored catfish patrol the riverbed, their bodies cloaked in bony plates. They sift through the detritus, searching for morsels, but they are not alone. A predatory wolffish lurks in ambush, its jaw lined with needle-sharp fangs. With a sudden burst, it lunges from beneath a sunken log, targeting the slowest in the group. The water erupts in a frenzy of scales and bubbles. The catfish's armor holds, but not all are so fortunate. In these depths, the difference between hunter and hunted is measured in seconds. Everywhere, amphibians and fish engage in a ceaseless ballet of pursuit and evasion. Poison dart frogs deposit their young in tiny pools, each tadpole a potential meal for lurking tetras. Suriname toads, camouflaged against the silt, snap up unsuspecting prey with lightning speed, vanishing just as quickly into the gloom. Here in the rainforest's underwater corridors, life is a series of close calls and narrow escapes. No eyes but those of the predators and prey bear witness to these showdowns, yet each encounter shapes the delicate balance of the ecosystem, forging a world where only the most cunning and the luckiest endure beneath the surface. Above the tangled chaos of the rainforest and the winding rivers below, a different kind of battle rages, one fought on invisible currents, where only the boldest dare to fly. The sky, endless and blue, is the arena for the Pantanal's most agile hunters, the birds of prey. A harpy eagle, wings broad as a human outstretched, glides silently through the morning mist. Its talons, curved and formidable, are poised for the strike. Far below, a troop of monkeys senses danger, their cries echoing through the treetops. The eagle hovers, calculating, its piercing eyes locking onto a young capuchin venturing too far from the group. With a sudden tilt of its wings, the eagle dives, a blur of feathers and power, but the monkey leaps, grasping at vines, and narrowly escapes the deadly grasp. The eagle ascends once more, undeterred, a silent shadow against the rising sun. Elsewhere, a pair of caracaras spiral in the thermal updrafts, their sharp beaks gleaming. They clash mid-air, talons extended, vying for a scrap of carrion snatched from a careless vulture. Feathers scatter, and the victor lets out a triumphant cry, circling above its prize. Below, kingfishers dart like living arrows, plunging into the water to snatch unsuspecting fish, while black-collared hawks patrol the riverbanks, eyes attuned to every ripple. As dusk falls, the spectacle intensifies. A barn owl emerges, ghostly and silent, weaving through the fading light. It zeroes in on a scurrying rodent, wings barely stirring the air. With preternatural grace, the owl strikes, the hunt completed before the forest even notices. In this high-stakes ballet, every beat of a wing and every calculated dive shapes the destiny of countless creatures. The sky is a battlefield, but also a testament to the beauty and precision of nature's flyers. Here, above the world's wildest places, The aerial duels of birds of prey ensure that the cycle of life continues, fierce and unbroken, beneath the ever-watchful eyes of the Pantanal's sky warriors. Beneath the towering trees and within the thick underbrush of the Pantanal, a different kind of war unfolds, one fought by the smallest of warriors. Here, in the microcosm of the insect world, colonies of ants, bees, and termites engage in battles of strategy and survival, each vying for dominance in their miniature empires. In a bustling anthill, leafcutter ants march in disciplined lines, carrying fragments of leaves like living conveyor belts. Their destination, a subterranean garden where they cultivate fungi, the colony's primary food source. But not far away, a rival colony of army ants, nomadic and relentless, prepares for a raid. The air buzzes with anticipation as scouts return with news of the leafcutter's bounty. Under the cover of night, the army ants advance, a living tide of mandibles and legs. The clash is swift and brutal, with the leafcutters mounting a fierce defense. Mandibles snap, and pheromones fill the air, signaling retreat or reinforcement. In the end, the army ants withdraw, but not without capturing vital resources to sustain their endless march. High above, in the branches, a hive of bees hums with activity. Worker bees flit between flowers, gathering nectar and pollen to sustain their queen and her growing brood. But danger looms in the form of a hornet scout, silently observing the hive's defenses. The hornet returns to its nest, and soon a squadron of giant hornets takes flight. Their attack is precise and devastating, targeting the guards and breaching the hive's entrance. The bees swarm in a desperate defense, but the hornets' size and strength prove overwhelming. The hive is plundered, and the hornets return to their nest, victorious and laden with spoils. Meanwhile, deep within the earth, termite colonies wage their own wars. Soldiers with powerful jaws guard the entrances, while workers tunnel endlessly, expanding the subterranean labyrinth. Rival colonies, drawn by the scent of rich wood, engage in fierce battles underground. The combat is unseen but no less deadly, with tunnels collapsing and soldiers clashing in the dark. Victory means access to new resources and territory, but defeat brings collapse and starvation. In this hidden world, every day is a struggle for survival, where alliances can shift and a single battle can determine the fate of thousands. The intricate rivalries among insect colonies reveal a complex web of life where strategy, cooperation, and conflict are all part of nature's grand design. These micro-empires, though often unseen, play a crucial role in the balance of the Pantanal, their tiny battles echoing the larger struggles of the wild. As the sun sets over the vast, arid expanse of the desert, a land seemingly devoid of life begins to stir. Here, survival is an art perfected over millennia, and the creatures that call this harsh environment home are masters of adaptation. In the cool of twilight, the elusive fennec fox emerges from its burrow. With its oversized ears, it listens intently, detecting the faintest rustle of sand as a beetle scurries by. The fox's ears serve not only as keen auditory instruments, but also as radiators, dissipating heat and keeping the small predator cool. With a swift pounce, it captures its prey, a vital source of moisture and sustenance in this water-scarce land. As darkness deepens, the desert floor comes alive with the movement of nocturnal hunters and foragers. The sidewinder rattlesnake, named for its unique, sideways slithering motion, glides effortlessly across the sand. This method of locomotion minimizes contact with the scorching ground, conserving precious energy. Its heat-sensing pits detect the presence of a kangaroo rat, a nimble rodent that survives without ever drinking water, deriving moisture entirely from its diet of seeds. The snake strikes with precision, its venom quickly subduing the prey. High above, the desert owl takes flight, its silent wings allowing it to glide undetected. With keen eyesight adapted to the low light, it spots a jerboa, a small, hopping rodent. The owl swoops down, talons outstretched, capturing its meal in a fluid, silent motion. The jerboa's powerful hind legs, developed for rapid, bounding escapes, are no match for the owl's stealth and speed. In the early hours before dawn, the desert scorpion emerges from its burrow. With ultraviolet light, it glows eerily, a warning to potential predators. Its exoskeleton, a natural armor, protects it from the harsh environment. The scorpion's pincers and venomous sting are formidable tools for both defense and hunting, enabling it to capture insects and small vertebrates. As the first light of dawn breaks, the desert tortoise slowly makes its way to a shaded burrow. Having spent the night foraging on cacti and other hardy plants, it seeks refuge from the impending heat. Its thick, scaly skin prevents water loss, while its ability to store water in its bladder allows it to endure the long, dry spells. Each creature in this unforgiving landscape has evolved unique strategies to cope with the extremes. From the fennec fox's heat-dissipating ears to the sidewinder's energy-efficient movement, the desert is a testament to nature's ingenuity. Here, in this sun-scorched wilderness, life finds a way, thriving against the odds in a delicate balance of predator and prey, hunter and hunted. The desert may appear barren and lifeless, but beneath its harsh exterior lies a vibrant world of survival, where every adaptation is a testament to the resilience of life. As the seasons shift and ancient instincts awaken, the world's greatest journeys begin. Across continents and skies, herds and flocks embark on migrations that span hundreds, sometimes thousands, of miles. These odysseys, etched into the fabric of time, are driven by the relentless pursuit of survival, a race against hunger, thirst, and the ever-changing rhythms of the wild. In the heart of the savannah, the morning sun ignites a sea of movement. Over 1 million wildebeest surge forward, hooves thundering in unison, joined by zebras and gazelles, their destination distant grasslands, where the rains have painted the earth green once more. The journey is fraught with peril. Rivers swollen from recent storms become gauntlets of survival, where crocodiles lurk beneath the surface, jaws poised to snap. Calves, barely days old, are swept along in the currents, their mothers' calls echoing across the chaos. The herd presses on, a living tide, each step a testament to endurance. Above, the skies darken as clouds of wings fill the air. Arctic terns, champions of migration, span the globe from pole to pole. Their journey is a marvel of navigation, guided by the stars, the sun, and magnetic fields. Over oceans and continents, they brave relentless storms and winds, their slender bodies slicing through the gales. Flocks of starlings twist and turn in mesmerizing murmurations, evading falcons that dart with lethal precision. Every wing beat is a gamble, every formation a shield against the predators that shadow their route. On the open plains, elephants march in solemn procession. Matriarchs lead the way, their memories mapping secret paths to distant waterholes. Along the route, lion prides lie in wait, and the youngest and weakest risk falling behind. The elephants' unity is their strength. Trunks entwined, they shepherd calves through dust storms and heat, never straying far from the protective circle of the herd. In the icy wilderness, caribou herds drift like shadows across the tundra. Wolves stalk at the fringes, testing the herd's resolve. When the river crossings come, the caribou plunge into the freezing water, driven by the promise of lush pastures ahead. The slow and the sick are lost to the current or the jaws of waiting predators, but the herd pushes onward, bound by the unbreakable thread of migration. These epic journeys are more than mere movement. They are battles for survival, woven into the very pulse of the planet. Every leap, every flight, every stride is a chapter in the timeless story of life's resilience. Across wild frontiers, without a single human in sight, the Odyssey continues, a living testament to the power and persistence of nature's great migrations. Beneath the tranquil surface of the world's forests lies a secret realm, unseen by the sun and hidden from the eyes of the sky. Here, in the tangled darkness of roots and soil, burrowing animals have carved out intricate kingdoms, labyrinths that thrum with silent rivalries and constant struggle. Moles tunnel tirelessly, their velvety bodies gliding through the earth in pursuit of earthworms and beetles. Each mole's territory is a fiercely guarded domain, and when boundaries are crossed, silent clashes erupt in the narrow tunnels. Battles are swift and unseen, fought with sharp teeth and powerful forelimb. Victors claim new stretches of fertile ground, while the defeated are driven deeper into the dark. Nearby, a warren of rabbits expands with every season. Life here is a delicate balance of cooperation and competition. Dominant females rule the largest chambers, defending the best nesting sites from rivals. Young bucks, eager for their own space, dig new passageways, sometimes breaking through into the tunnels of voles or shrews. These encounters are tense, a fleeting flash of teeth, a quick retreat, the quiet rearrangement of boundaries beneath the roots. In the deepest layers, blind salamanders and burrowing frogs move through shadowy aquifers, their lives entwined with the secret streams that flow below. Predators and prey, neighbors and strangers, all share the same hidden world, each adapting to the perpetual twilight and the dangers it conceals. Above, the forest may seem calm, but below, a silent war for space and survival is always underway. The unseen battles of the burrowers shape the land as much as the storms and the sun, a secret saga unfolding in darkness beneath the wild heart of the earth. At the edge of the world, where sunlight barely grazes the horizon and the wind sculpts the ice into shimmering fortresses, a different kingdom rises, one ruled by cold endurance and relentless competition. Here, in the polar regions, every breath is a battle, every step a claim to survival. On the vast, frozen sea, male polar bears pace the ever-shifting ice floes. Their senses are honed to detect the faintest scent of prey, seals hidden beneath snow-laden breathing holes. Each bear marks out a hunting domain, fiercely patrolling the boundaries. When rivals cross paths, the silence of the tundra is shattered by deep bellows and thunderous clashes. Massive paws swipe, jaws snap, and only the strongest, or the cleverest, win the right to hunt these icy territories. Not far away on the frozen continent, emperor penguins gather in tightly packed colonies, their backs to the blizzard. Here, power is measured in warmth and position. The inner circle, shielded from the worst of the storm, is a coveted place. Adults jostle, shuffle, and push, a slow-motion struggle played out over endless polar nights. The weak are edged outward, exposed to the biting cold, while the most determined cling to the safety of the huddle's heart. Above, ivory gulls circle like spectral sentinels, ever watchful for the scraps left behind by larger predators. Their aerial skirmishes are sudden and sharp, a flash of wings, a peck, a stolen meal. On the ice, Arctic foxes shadow the paths of polar bears, darting in to snatch whatever scraps remain. Each fox must outwit its competitors, weaving through the labyrinth of snowdrifts in a silent contest for survival. Beneath the ice, in the inky blackness, Weddell seals defend underwater breathing holes from rivals and lurking leopard seals. Here, the struggle is silent and swift, a contest of agility and nerve beneath the frozen ceiling. In the polar wilderness, power is fleeting and fiercely contested. Every creature, from the greatest bear to the smallest chick, is locked in a ceaseless test of strength, strategy, and will. The icy realm may seem still, but beneath its calm lies a world forged by struggle, a testament to the wild heart that beats, undaunted, at the ends of the earth. Beneath the sunlit shimmer of tropical seas lies a realm as vibrant as any jungle and as competitive as any savanna. The coral reef. Here, life flourishes in a kaleidoscope of color and movement, each creature woven into the fabric of the reef's bustling society. At the heart of this underwater metropolis, corals themselves are both architects and warriors. These living colonies build towering cities of stone, providing shelter for a multitude of species. In return, tiny algae called zooxanthellae take up residence within coral tissues, exchanging their photosynthetic energy for protection and nutrients, a partnership so vital that without it, the reef would wither. But the coral kingdom is no utopia. Space is precious and competition is fierce. Corals wage slow-motion battles, deploying stinging tentacles or chemical warfare to outgrow and overtake their neighbors. Only the most resilient colonies can claim the best real estate, edging out rivals in a silent, relentless war. Amid the coral spires, reef fish dart and swirl, each with a role to play. Cleaner wrasses set up underwater stations, attracting larger fish who line up for their services. With delicate precision, the wrasses pluck parasites from gills and scales, gaining a meal and forging a bond of mutual benefit. Yet even in this partnership, deception lurks. Imposter blennies mimic the cleaner's stripes, sneaking in to take a quick bite of flesh instead of parasites before darting away. Elsewhere, clownfish nestle among the venomous tentacles of sea anemones. Immune to their host's sting, the clownfish gain protection from predators, while their constant movement helps keep the anemone clean and well oxygenated. Together, they thrive, each dependent on the other's presence. Predators, too, shape the balance. Moray eels and groupers form hunting alliances, signaling one another with subtle gestures before flushing prey from the coral maze. Parrotfish graze on algae, preventing it from smothering the reef, while their powerful jaws carve new spaces for coral larvae to settle. In this dynamic world, every interaction, whether cooperative or competitive, shapes the fate of the reef. Success depends not just on strength, but on the ability to form alliances, outwit rivals, and seize fleeting opportunities. For those who call the coral kingdoms home, survival is a delicate dance of give and take, rivalry and reliance played out in the ever-changing light beneath the waves. High above the forests, where clouds brush ancient stone and icy winds sculpt the ridges, life unfolds in stark, breathtaking drama. The world of the mountains is a realm of extremes, where sheer cliffs and plunging ravines form both sanctuary and snare. Here, stealth and strategy are the currency of survival. In the pale dawn, a snow leopard melts into the dappled shadows, its spotted coat a perfect illusion against the broken rock. Every muscle tensed, it scans the slopes for the telltale movement of its quarry. A herd of blue sheep, or burrowers, grazing on lichen and tough mountain grass. The sheep are wary, their eyes keen, hooves gripping the precipice as they sense the silent presence nearby. A single misplaced stone, a shift in the wind, and the chase erupts. The snow leopard launches into motion, tail streaming like a banner for balance, navigating vertical drops and narrow ledges with breathtaking agility. The burrowers scatter, leaping impossible distances, their bodies honed by generations of evasion. The hunt becomes a ballet of pursuit and escape, predator and prey, locked in a contest, dictated by the unforgiving terrain. Elsewhere, golden eagles ride the thermals, their eyes sharp enough to spot a marmot from hundreds of feet above. With a sudden stoop, the eagle tucks its wings and dives, a living missile hurtling toward the ground. The marmot freezes, then bolts for its burrow, heart pounding as talons rake the earth just inches behind. Sometimes the eagle claims its prize, other times the mountain grants a second chance. On these crags, the drama is not only swift but silent. Wolves test the edges of their range, trailing herds of wild ibex. The ibex, sure-footed and unflinching, scaled dizzying heights, using the cliffs as a shield against pursuit. The wolves must weigh risk and reward, knowing that a single slip could spell disaster. In the mountain wilds, every encounter is a gamble. Hunger sharpens the senses, and the line between hunter and hunted is ever shifting. Here, life is written in tracks across fresh snow, in the echo of distant hooves, and in the silent watchfulness of eyes that have seen many seasons pass. No human foot disturbs this ancient contest. Only the mountain itself stands witness to the ceaseless struggle for survival. A world where fate is forged in shadow and stone, and every day is won or lost anew.